Hello everyone and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling what is easily one of the most common and, let's be honest, most stressful questions in all of personal finance. How much should you actually be investing each month? Look, if you've been carrying around some financial stress lately, take a deep breath. You are exactly in the right place. By the time we wrap up this explainer, you're going to have a really clear, completely actionable path forward.
You know that feeling when you sit down to check your bank account, you stare at the balance, and you just quietly ask yourself, am I doing enough? I want you to know right now, you are absolutely not alone. That sinking feeling in your stomach, wondering if you're falling behind your friends or falling behind where society says you should be, it's a completely normal thing to wrestle with. The anxiety around trying to hit some perfect investing target is so incredibly common. But hey, we are going to fix that today.
Because here is the honest truth. There is no single universal magic number. Think about it. What works perfectly for a 22-year-old who is living rent-free at home is going to look vastly different than a 45-year-old who's juggling a mortgage, a car payment, and 3 kids who seem to need new shoes every single week. You haven't missed the boat just because your monthly number doesn't perfectly match someone else's.
So here's our roadmap for today to help build up that financial confidence. First, the magic number myth. Second, golden rules of thumb. Third, your age-based benchmarks. Fourth, the pre-investment checklist. And finally, avoiding lifestyle creep.
Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1, the magic number myth.
We are completely tossing out that mythical universal figure. Instead, we're replacing it with what we call your customized reality. This is an investing target that is tailored specifically to your exact life stage, your current income, and your current debt levels. We're going to use a step-by-step strategy to find your perfect, personalized number. And yes, that includes those of you who might be starting from absolute zero today.
Moving right along to Section 2, Golden Rules of Thumb.
So, if we are talking purely about retirement, 15% of your gross income is the golden target recommended by most financial experts. But here is the critical part that so many people miss, and it's actually fantastic news. This 15% includes your employer match. You literally do not have to carry that entire 15% on your own shoulders if your company helps out. If you put in 10% of your paycheck and your boss matches with 5%, boom, you've hit that golden 15% target. It's a team effort.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how that 15% fits into your overall budget. Enter the famous 50-30-20 rule. Basically, 50% of your take-home pay goes to your needs: rent, groceries, keeping the lights on. 30% goes to your wants, your streaming subscriptions, going out to eat, maybe a weekend trip. And that final 20%, that is your financial progress bucket. That's the money dedicated to debt repayment, your emergency fund, and most importantly, investing. If you can consistently hit that 20% bucket, statistically speaking, you are going to be leagues ahead of the vast majority of people.
Let's move to and see how this builds over a lifetime in Section 3, your age-based benchmarks.
To retire comfortably by around age 67, let's walk through some rough salary multiples you should be aiming to have saved up at each decade. By age 30, the goal is to have 1 times your annual salary saved. By 40, you want to aim for 3 times your salary. By age 50, 6 times. And by the time you hit 60, the target is to have 8 times your annual salary tucked away.
Now, hold on. If you're 40 right now watching this, and you definitely do not have 3 times your salary saved, I need you to just take a breath. These are rough targets, they are not strict laws. Everyone's journey is totally different. There's an old saying that the best time to start investing was 10 years ago, but the second best time is today. You are here, you're learning, you're taking action right now, and honestly, that is what actually matters. So the crucial point is knowing what to do before you go all in, which brings us to Section 4, the pre-investment checklist. These are your 3 sequential prerequisites. You got to check these boxes before throwing every spare cent into the stock market. Step 1, secure your employer match. If your job offers a 401k match, that is quite literally a 100% return on your money. Never ever leave that free money on the table. Step 2, pay off your high-interest debt. And Step 3, build an emergency fund. Let's actually break down exactly why Steps 2 and 3 are so absolutely vital.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the math behind Step 2. If you are carrying credit card debt with an 18% or 24% interest rate, you must clear that out first. Why? Because even legendary investors like Warren Buffett are not averaging 24% returns year after year in the stock market. Paying off that high-interest credit card isn't just a mental relief, it is a guaranteed mathematical win for your net worth that completely beats any realistic market return.
All right, once that high-interest debt is gone, we look at Step 3, the emergency fund.
The goal here is to save up 3 to 6 months of basic living expenses, and you want to keep that entirely separate in a high-yield savings account. This is absolutely critical. Think of it as your sleep better at night fund. It ensures that when life inevitably throws a curveball, like say your car breaks down out of nowhere, you actually have the cash ready to go. Without it, you might be forced to sell your hard-earned investments at a loss just to pay for a radiator, completely derailing all your financial progress.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Section 5, Avoiding Lifestyle Creep.
I want to specifically talk to those of you watching right now who might feel totally overwhelmed because you can't even fathom hitting a 5% investment rate yet, let alone 15%. What if you could only manage $50? Then do it. Start right there. Set up your account and automate just $50 a month. It might feel like a drop in the bucket today, but $50 consistently invested, allowed to compound powerfully over decades, turns into a truly staggering amount of money. Right now, you're just building the muscle.
And here's the secret to accelerating it without even feeling the pinch. Let's say next year you get a nice little 3% raise at work. The natural human instinct is to upgrade your life, right? Buy nicer things, eat out a bit more. That is called lifestyle creep. Resist it. Instead of inflating your lifestyle, take that extra money from the raise and route it directly to your investments. You bump that $50 a month up to $150 a month without changing your day-to-day spending at all. Avoiding lifestyle creep is practically the fastest way to build real wealth.
Look, if you take only one single thing away from this entire explainer, let it be this quote right here. The habit is more important than the amounts. It's all about making financial progress a routine, completely regardless of how many zeros happen to be in your bank account today.
As a quick reminder, everything in this explainer is general info, so always consult a fee-only advisor for your specific situation. But right now, to close things out, I want to keep us all accountable with a question. What percentage are you aiming for this year? Really think about it, commit to it, and take that first step today. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer, and I will see you next time.